Hey everyone, it's the History Nerd, and we're here with a new series after many months of nothing. Apologies for that. Um, there's been some things. There hasn't really been a game lately that I've been like, hey, this is turning out to be a great storyteller. I just have to adjust my headphones because the music's it's a little loud in the old ear space. Yeah, there hasn't really been a game that I think makes for a good storyteller that I felt like playing until Holy Fury comes along. It's the latest DLC from Paradox for their game that I think Crusader Kings 2 was released in 2012, and it's going on 2019, so it's not bad. That's some pretty good legs on an old game. Yeah, so some of the things that I've been doing, one of the things that I've been doing is a Star Wars podcast with a friend of mine. So I've included a link in the description. If that interests you, give it a listen. You know, we talk about the canon of the Star Wars universe. So, you know, if you like your Star Wars, maybe check that out. You might find something you enjoy. Pardon me as I take a sip of coffee. If that is not what you're looking for, if you're just here for good old-fashioned history nerd, don't you worry. We're back with a new series. So, Holy Fury. Holy crapola. What a bunch of changes and just... It feels like it's the last DLC of this game. And what a way to go out. They've touched up everything. Just little touch-ups, little fixes. Certainly there's more that could have been done. I know cadet branches and playable playable theocracies it's still one of the ones that's just like, hey, we could really go for that, and it would be great, but they gotta have something to leave in Crusader Kings 3. I say that really tongue-in-cheekly. I imagine, I mean, just look at how touch and go republics are even today. I don't know if getting vassal theocracies up and running is all that potential. Whatever. I'm just rambling now. Take a look at this map. There has been no map extensions since going east with, I think, the Jade Dragon, which is a DLC I do not have. Because I tend to play, like, west of this line. So getting stuff for China, I don't know. It's not really what I'm looking for in CK2, but that's fine, because Holy Fury has touched plenty. We're going with the Viking start, and we are going to go with the Jorvik start, with Halfdan Whiteshirt, which is a great name. And let's get started. So the only thing I'm going to change here, I'm turning Aztec invasions off. Otherwise, I'm fairly confident I'm keeping all of these. Yeah, absolutely on. Great. We got blood splatter now, which is something I never thought I'd say. Is get blood splatter in a freaking Paradox game, but it's in. And it's there. I don't know if it's necessarily something I would have thought needed to be added, but it's there, so it's a nice touch. I'm half tempted to turn dueling on to unrestricted, but we'll just leave it on default, and we'll get this game started. So why Jorvik? Well, one, I am a big fan of soft J's, so that's nice. Also, you know, there's been a lot that's changed for not just get all these guys merged together, make sure we got clearly myself in the middle, and we can put Uba over there, and Goodfred, sure, Goodfried, sure, you're over there. So why Jorvik? Well, because they've done things for pagans. So if we take a look at the societies here, we've got the Wolf Warriors, which are a society of warriors. So obviously, as a Viking invader, we're definitely going to go ahead and join this. Another recruit, huh? To join our ranks, you need to prove yourself, boy. 42. You're 17, but okay. You can call me boy. I'll agree to duel. What's more important, though, is clearly we've got the invasions of England to deal with. So, our goal is for the invasions of Northumberland. We're at war with basically all of the English nations. It's okay because we've got 16,000 troops here. Now, we don't necessarily want to just go ham with these guys. We don't want to lose all of them because most of our army here is Jorvik companies of just units you get to keep forever. They don't replenish, so careful with how you use them initially. But yeah, we're just going to push right up into Northumberland and get this war started. So the onlookers are cheering for me as I swing my bare hands with increasing enthusiasm. When it's over, King Hrain of Vestergautland is on the ground, his face red with embarrassment. I shrug, smiling to the coward, and, to the crowd, and the opponent. I walk away victorious. We are in the Wolf Warriors. Well, we will be soon. Yes, so the reason I went with Jorvik is because we get to play around with some of the pagan stuff initially. If the world of the game goes really, really well, we could even start looking at reforming the pagan religion and picking great things like warmongering so that, you know, we can have holy wars, or the Sons of Ragnarok so that we can have prepared invasions and fleets and ship maintenance, or meritocracy so that the gods do not care about the order in which a child is born. So you can just pick your heir. That's pretty nice. But there are tons of different things you can pick. So like for your doctrine, right? We've got 2. We can right off the bat, if you're wanting to play an incest game, polygamy, close kin marriage, not a problem. You can get bonuses for stability, religious tax, and like, you know, you can set your gender equality so that it'll be always women, always men. Just make it equal. And so, you know, that's pretty awesome. I like that reforming pagan religions isn't just checking off a box and all of a sudden you become Christianity with different pictures. There's totally, like, you can change so much. But there is also new crusade mechanics and conversion mechanics. So at some point, preferably before we have a crusade called on us, we'll take a look at converting to Christianity and then start getting into, you know, going on crusade and getting all of that kind of stuff in. Well, a nice other quality of life features, the movement locked. I love it. It's in other Paradox games, so why wouldn't it be here? I'm told you did not receive a single scratch during your initiation. That's the kind of impressive warrior we would be honored to have sitting at our table. Yay! Okay, so I am officially in the Wolf Riders now. That's good. Bishop Peter, a preacher in the service of King Constantine II of Scotland, has arrived in Jorvik to spread the gospel. So in this case, this is potentially the start of one of those new conversion mechanics. We're not looking to, it's 867. We're not converting from paganism yet. So we'll just basically make him blot fuel and use him up on the Great Blot. Oh, those bastards. They missed us. However, those 37 men, they'll slow us down. There we go. That's what I wanted to do, is catch the armies of Northumbria before they can link up with Mercia and Wessex. Because as you can see, that is precisely what they're doing. We got someone captured in battle. Lovely. A nice bishop or mayor. And we can start, because we're a member of the Wolf Warriors, we can just be like, hey, you know what? We don't want to keep you. We'll just get some personal combat and zealous opinion. I think I am going to keep him because at some point we'll have a blot, and having a blot means, you know, the more people you kill within reason, which is an odd sentence to say. But the more, let's see. I think I am. By the way, blood splatter, because we're leading an army and we're fighting. I think because I mostly like to keep my characters in the center, having them be a flanker is kind of a waste. You can see we've already got 41% victory on these vile Christians, so that's nice. And we'll get a little bit more here against Scotland and Wessex, and then from there, I think we'll be ready to just start hacking down some land. Now, I really wouldn't mind getting a little bit more north. than perhaps the Kingdom of Northumbria would usually be. I can see we've got our allies, the King of Sweden, Viking Sweden, so Svithold? I'm not sure. I don't speak Swedish. But actually, yeah, because this is de jure, or de jure. I mean, I always knew it wasn't de jure, because it's just of the day. But, you know, watching many a true nerd play Crusader Kings 2, I think I'll trust his pronunciation of things like de jure. And I'll try to remember to do that as the series goes on. I'm starting to think Ingrid might fancy me. Okay. What's so great about Ingrid? Not much. Not appropriate. One thing I should do, my word, we need to pick all of this stuff. So we've got an unmarried heir. We should try and marry him off to somebody of note. The problem with, you know, being freaking pagan, of course, is all of these priestesses wind up getting to the top of the list because they're landed and religious and all that. I do see a genius one, which may not be bad for old Siegfried here. Because she was only 22? Yeah, there we go. And then I'm guessing all my other sons could probably use a little bit of love as well. You look like you're good at the books. So let's get you another good book learner. Yeah. And then finally, you are good with the intrigue and you're already married. Okay. Perfect. Me, what do I want to do? Well, probably become King of England. I'm 42. I don't think we'll be able to make King of England just yet. So that's maybe not something we want to look at. We'll just go with Exalted. Exalted among men. I think we'll be able to pull it off. And then clearly War Focus, because we're going to be fighting all of England for quite a while. I don't know why I raised my voice there. It's a guaranteed we're going to be fighting England for a while. In my studies of warfare, I've come to realize that clever tactics on the battlefield is only part of the story. There are other disciplines of equal importance. Oh, not gonna lie, a siege leader is always great. You accept the marriage proposal, that's lovely. You do as well. So what I'm hoping to do here is be sneaky. I'm not sure if this is still something I can do, but if I've got this land and I wind up taking all of Northumbria plus the land that I've laid siege to, hopefully I will be able to keep, you know, Dunbar and Lothian here. And we are wasting a lot of those troops on just having them sit in sieges. We might as well hack them down so it's much faster. I don't think there's much of a chance that we'll hit up fortifications that are too strong for us to just beat down quickly. As a member of the Wolf Warriors, we must always be ready to fight. To prove your battle, or to prove your mettle, seek out and duel Shooter, a veteran of the Band of Medina. I don't think I can duel him until I'm out of war. So, well, I agree that is something we will be doing. At the moment, it's not our big focus. Let's head down south here, actually. If we can go this way and avoid the river crossing, that might be better. Well, at this stage, we'll just come into Cumberland. And, okay, we're not going to be able to avoid the river crossing. They just locked in as we came across. I have a feeling if our timing wasn't right there, they would have just stopped. Which is fine. You know, we could have easily turned that around. Alright. No, you know what? We will keep him. Oh, hello! What a great... I mean, sacrificing him right now, no, we'll keep him for the blot. We can sacrifice that guy. The King of Scotland? Oh, we're blotting him up right proper. It's always nice to capture your enemies in battle, you know? It doesn't look like we've got anything coming from the south in a way of retaliatory strikes. The Northumbrians have, it looks like, about 1,000 men left. Son was born to Ragnar Halfdanson, and Ellen Eric's daughter named Heftan. Okay. He looks perfectly cromulent. We'll just ride that out. We can hack all of this down because we're just sitting pretty. That's 100% war score. In the war, I say that's enough. I think we've done more than enough. Now, did I get... Oh! So, obviously, and I'm sure people who have played CK2 far more than me would have known that trick and been like, hey, you should probably try and take as much land as possible. I'm thinking we got a pretty good shake at the old stick here. That is indeed me. And then a whole bunch of land. Now we're gonna have to get sorted here. So let's just get that taken care of. That's Northumbria. Now, what I'm also really tempted to do, looks like they've already got. If we take a look at Gottingen here, we could create the Duchy of Gottingen. I mean, I'm not going to give it away because we're only a duke. We're only the Duke of Jorvik. We need to become King of England before we can really start doing the king creation or the kingdom creation stuff. But somewhere in these lands, and somewhere relatively early, I want a Merchant Republic vassal to help bring the gold in. And, you know, Gottingen there might not be a bad location. They're not exactly the richest land in the Empire. Perhaps someplace down south, East Anglia, or down here in Wessex or Somerset. That may wind up being a better bet for a republic, but we will see. Okay, yeah, I am definitely not a temple holder. And then we got, you know, a domain size that's getting a little big. We don't necessarily need Northumberland, Dunholm, Lothian, and Dunbar. I think we should probably look to maybe splitting that out. And, you know, maybe we want to split it up between the kids. As it stands, we've got Siegfried here, who's going to be getting the petty kingdom of Jorvik and all of the counties. Jorvik now, or York or Jorvik, wherever, whatever, you know, cultural group your people are playing from. It's got, like, actual holdings in here now. You can make this super strong. I love it. It's perfect for Viking invaders. What else? What else did I not? I was too excited about that new land I had taken. Our domain is still too big. We can create some titles, but again, because we're just ourselves a duke, I don't want to go creating any titles or giving enough people enough land to create titles themselves, because then they'll just wind up going out of the kingdom, and then we'll have to invade and bring them back in, and nobody wants that. We do want to set a crown focus in Jorvik, though, and take a look. We got some building to do as our troops get back. I'm sure our monetary situation will come back around. Why are we losing so much? Why we should not have monthly expenses that high. Alright, I dismiss the troops. Yeah. I don't have any holy orders. Or anybody? No, I've got no troops raised, and I don't have any fleets raised either, right? Alright. Now that we can raise a bunch of fleets, we'll have to get there. Mayor Harold of Doncaster has come to you with a suggestion. My lord, it is the opinion of Earl Saxared of Cumberland would make an excellent military commander. Very well. I could always use some more commanders. One of the things I'm definitely going to do is auto-assign some commanders. Then we can come in here and get ourselves a regent set up. Where is my eldest? Where is my heir? My heir cannot be regent. Okay. Well, you seem good, Perry. So there you go. We got a court physician, a scholarly theologian, or a mastermind theologian. I think we'll go with Frayne here, Gody of Beverly. That sounds lovely. I don't think we necessarily need to worry about a cupbearer or law speaker at this point. Now, we should be able to get our son involved here somehow, right? But not the heir. Well, that's annoying. Alright, doesn't matter. We've got a defensive pact formed already. I don't think Northumberland's going to be around for too much longer. I think Sudrayar here is going to do a fairly good job of taking their last county. My bishop is complaining. Well, you know what, sir? There's a way around that. We'll get some money from our Christian vassals there so that they don't have to necessarily come to the plot. The guests have arrived and the time has come for the blot to begin. Yay! Let's move on to the human sacrifices and we should have plenty here. Which will just be, what I like about this is that it is just a flat 25 or 50-25. 50 prestige, 25 piety. Or piety, however you want to pronounce it. So like, nobody's worth more than the other. But, you know, it's nice. There are many legends about the great men whose blood I share, or the great man whose blood I share. A particular story has been circulating at court lately. It focuses on an epic feat where Ragnar proves his strength of character. The more I hear, the more I wish to emulate him. I shall strive to be brave. I'm amazed. Halfdan here wasn't brave already, but dude's brave now. He's a Viking. He's a hunter. And if we click over here, I mean, obviously, this whole page has been completely redone. Complete with a kill count, which is pretty awesome, and the bloodlines. So this is one of those new features where if your family, or if a particular member of your family does something so epic, so amazing, so, you know, awesome that it lasts the test of time, it actually gets attached to your family. Now, we already have it, so we don't need to worry about making a new one. And it's a pretty damn good one. Being related to Ragnar Lodbrok here is great. We get a +8 to personal combat, Norse opinion up, Viking opinion up, Pirate opinion up, Ravager opinion up, Sea Kings and Queens opinion up, and raiding can give us the Viking traits. So that's good. As long as we can raid, we can get the Viking trait, even if we're theoretically not Norse, but I don't know if Catholics can raid. I don't think they can, so there you go. Winflid? Well, that's... Oh, that is too bad. I wish I'd taken a look, because she would make a great concubine. But I don't want to lose the piety, so kill her. Yeah, where's your Blessed Virgin? And then that is it for prisoners. That's fine. With the sacrifice over, the feast at the end of the blot can now begin. Who's my dad? Is it Ragnar Lodbrok? Then I think I will definitely commission a Rune Stone for Ragnar, my dearly departed father. Let's do a little bit of, you know, proper elder veneration. So if we take a look at our truces, we have a truce with Tevittdale? Where is that? Ah, is that them? Yeah. So you're, okay, yeah, you did wind up going off to Sudrayar. But, because I snuck up and took those two, I kinda beat him to it. That's fine. I wanted to do that so I could snag that land. And it does make me wonder about continuing the war as long as you possibly can to get chunks of Mercia as well. But that may be just, you know, that's gaming the system a little too much. In my humble opinion. Yeah, we don't want to really create anything. We are going to need to start handing out some of them titles. Because as it stands, these guys are getting land outside of Jorvik, which is nice. I like that Sigfrid here will keep the entire Jarldom to himself. That's pretty damn good. The Rune Stone you commissioned has been finished, and it is raised on a spot you choose for it. You examine the runes. There's... This stone was raised by Halfdan in memory of Ragnar, his father and Sigurd's son. He was unjustly denied a death in battle, and his life was instead taken by cowardly Hangman. ever will stand this memorial. You leave the stone content in the knowledge that many centuries from now, when its paint has long since faded, scholars will be studying these rune carvings in an effort to glean the wisdom of their words. Lots of prestige, lots of beauty, everybody loves it. That's lovely. We are a fifth of the way to getting to our desired Exalted Among Men, because the prestige is 5,000, which, I mean, that is a lot, especially for a 42-year-old to have to worry about. But that's okay. We'll deal with that just fine. So one of the things we don't want to do is to create any duchies we're threatening, clearly. But we can go to war pretty much right away here. Like I said, we just have a truce with this guy who we will never go to war with. So what we could do is kind of screw over Sudiar here and keep going for Scottish land. And really, taking a look at it, you know, you'd think going for Scottish land is going to be the better bet. We'll get a king title quicker. But it's all tribal land, which, I mean, if we were a pagan coming from, you know, the actual lands of the Norse, that would be fine, because these guys are pagan too. Or these guys are pagan too. These guys are tribal too. But Jorvik, oh, Jorvik, you are different. You're a kingdom. You're a legit, like, we have jarls with castles. Granted, they're not, like, big castles at this moment in time, but they're still castles. We're going to definitely want to be taking lands from the English, because English land is better. And if there's still a war, then even better. Can we actually declare war? We could claim all of Mercia for this man. I don't know why we would do that. It's just replacing one Anglo-Saxon king with another. But I think a conquest of Chester here might be the best bet. Take a you know, coastal province away from Mercia, which, I mean, it's neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. But also opens up a nice land border with the Welsh, so we can start moving down there if we wanted to. Of course, we could also go with Lindsay here and get access to East Anglia. Lindsay's part of Mercia, so if we take a look at the de jure duchies here, that is de jure kingdoms, isn't it? Yes. If we take a look at de jure duchies here, we can see where Jorvik is, this nice bit. We've got Northumbria, Cumbria, Lancaster, and Mercia here that are going to be the areas that we've already got or will be expanding into. Now, again, we can't create these ducal titles or these jarldom titles until we've got a king title ourselves, and creating the Kingdom of England, we're going to need quite a bit of land. If we want to create this, we need to control 51% of it. The Jure counties, we control 28. So we've got to just slightly double our land holdings in England. And, whoops, that is not... F1 doesn't do what you would think it would. So I think Mercia is going to be the next great target. It is tempting to go after Strathclyde up here, but like I say, it doesn't help us with getting England. It helps us with getting Scotland, but Scotland's not exactly the world's greatest place to go off and set up a kingdom. I'd rather get good land than crappy land. So, or I mean, like, let's just do this. Chester it is. Send the war declaration. Now they've got a metric butt ton of men up there already. That's fine, because, you know, so do we. We'll just get all of my levies together. Oh, it's only 17. Wow. I mean, did we even really need to raise my levies then? Maybe the answer to that is no. Regardless, I guess having more replaceable bodies is better. Because those Jorvik troops that we get at the start, eventually they will wither down to nothing. So, you know, we want to be careful of that. Of course, we are freaking Viking leading the center of our army. There's always a chance we could wind up a little bit more dead than not. But the way things are going right now, yeah, he'll make a... I guess we've got a long time before the next Great Blot, so let's just end him there. Why did you stop fighting? Let's go down and actually lay siege to the land we want to take. One battle, 75%. This is a bit of a curb stomp. Of course, one could argue it was a bit of a historical curb stomp when the Vikings first showed up in this area, so goody, you know. Of course, things are going to be difficult. Let's go ahead and take care of that. For the English, and a little easy for the Vikings, but the trick, as it always is holding the land, right? So let's just go ahead and resign everybody. So we can already see here, we've got two Jorvik companies, but we've got 6,500 soldiers. There are, I'm sure that's far more than what he's able to raise. What about Wessex? They're in slightly better shape. Or even Scotland? Maybe an Irish, like, even without raising levies, with these guys here, we just have the strongest military force around. It's quite nice. One of the things we are going to need to do, truces expiring against Teviotdale, that's fine. We'll just go to war with them and make them Sudrayar here. We'll just go to war with them and make them vassals at some point. In the one little warm-up game I played, it seemed like a lot of Vikings, or a lot of Norse, like to... I guess we could just set up a fake kingdom, couldn't we? Like, it doesn't need to be actually the Kingdom of England, because we could just set up a titular kingdom, and then we could, oh geez, I didn't even consider this. With a titular kingdom, then we could have ducal vassals, and things will be so much easier. That is definitely something to consider. 300 gold? I mean, I'd rather spend that gold on, you know, things like improvements for Jorvik or the surrounding area. I know one of these is so far behind. Yeah, Leeds here has nothing built, which does not help things. And then Hull in Yorkshire, or Yordale, Yorkshire, a little built up, but still, you know, I mean, the infrastructure there isn't enough to raise armies quite yet. What we could look at doing here is just going into court and finding people who like me, like Uba Ibbing here. And I mean, we could give him, you know, the Count of Lothian. That is a possibility, I suppose. Don't really have many. I guess we could go. It's kind of pointless to waste the time and effort on taking Scottish land at the moment. How is this going? Sudyar is hitting the East Angles pretty darn hard. Yeah, you know what? I think I will found a new kingdom. So we are now king of Jorvik, which is nice because theoretically, one thing I want to do, we will just do a quick save and just be like, you know, king test. Because we have Northumbria, Cumbria, Lancaster, and Gododin. Okay, so what we could do, if I take a look back at the Ure duchies, Lancaster and Northumberland would probably be the best two to give to my non-inheriting sons. Heir to the county of Lothian, heir to the county of Northumberland. So, oh wow, really? You're going that far So I could keep... Yeah. Let's shunt these guys to the north then. So if you're going to go, how much does it cost to create these? It is quite expensive. That is the only concern. But that's fine. So you... Why can I not... Oh, because he's not... Because she's... Okay, well, we'll let that sort itself through. We can always... You know... get that sorted later. Well, is that really the color of the Kingdom of Jorvik? It's a very ugly... pale, gross color. Anyway, that's me not playing this game. Is sitting here talking about colors. I am going to take care of some vassal management, set this up as I can so we can get my own domain down, so we can get some vassals who aren't going to be totally pissed off at me, and I will be back as we continue the adventures of the Jarldom of Jorvik. Or you know what? Maybe I'll just end this here, and we'll start fresh with another episode. We're with the second episode. With this all taken care of before, that sounds great. Because otherwise I'm going to wind up just rambling like a crazy person. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. I am a little bit rusty at everything. I'm using new recording software. So, let me know what didn't go well. Because I'm sure something didn't. And, yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, please... thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave your questions, comments, concerns, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Knew it would come back to me.